Now, I don't use this drill very often, but it's my backup plan in case my battery operated drill stops working, or I got to charge the battery and I don't have an extra battery, whatever. Okay, so when I put this in, I just want to grab the tip, and when you tighten this, you want to tighten on one hole, then you want to turn it and tighten it on the next. Turn it and tighten it on the next. That way you get it overall, you get it on there nice and snug. Okay, if you're just doing one, you're not getting it in there right, and it might get wobbly, or it could even come loose. I've had that happen, so that's kind of why I do that. And I've got some goggles on, and you know what? I've got my earplugs, and so I'm taking a little napkin and I'm going to stick that in my ear. My ears get kind of sensitive, and that's probably from over time, over the years, I wasn't wearing earplugs. So you got to get yourself a set of those. You know, if you're going to start doing things on your own, instead of paying somebody else, you can save some of that money and start investing it in some tools and some safety goggles and safety wear and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's do it. Get those holes drilled, see what we got. Getting over a cold too, so hopefully that doesn't bother you, me sniffling a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just go in a little bit, out, in, out, in, out. You don't want to drive it in there in one go. You could snap the drill bit off, or it accumulates a lot of wood on there. You got to keep pulling it out to clean your bit. So I'm going to kind of put it in at a slight angle, kind of go in at just a little bit of an angle, not too much, but not straight either, because you may hit the very edge of your stud, and then when you're putting the screws in, it could go out of the edge of the stud and what have you. I'm going to go ahead and put all three in. Well, I can feel that stud is kind of hard, so I hope I can ram these screws in, which I think I'll be able to. We'll see. Okay, let's see if I can drive these all the way in with this drill. You know, battery operated drills, believe it or not, seem to be stronger than the power ones, because these might not be able to torque it all the way down. We're going to try it and see. I've got my other drill here just in case I need it. Make sure you put them in the right holes, because see, we don't want to put them in any of these other 4 holes. And if you're thinking, hey, Joe, why not just take one of the screws out and ram a screw into here and use that and be done with it? Well, you can't suck this jam in far enough that way, depending how far you want to go. We want to try to shove it in as far as we can, so that's why we're doing it on the back side. Then you won't see these screws. Make sense? I don't even care what color these are or anything like that. I want to make sure there's a flat head so they go flush to the wood. I don't want the round head ones. Wow, that went in good. I'm just doing a little trigger at a little bit at a time. Drive these in as far as I can to help suck that over. Now, if there's a shim on here, I might not be able to suck that over a whole lot, but any little bit is better than nothing, right? I've got another step to do after this if this doesn't work all the way. Okay. There. Okay, now I can lift that back up and put those screws in. If you're doing it by yourself, you just have to think about different things, because I have to raise that door up, then I got to hold it in place, put a shim underneath the door, all that kind of stuff. So see, I'm gonna close this door just a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough. So I have to get it over to about there so that I can now lift that up and put something underneath there. And see, I was going to put my cat's paw. But my cat's paw is too thick, so now I'm going to have to improvise. See what else I can do over here. Let's see here. If I had a second person here. Oh, okay. Let's try that. I got lifted up a little bit. Now my hinge is in the right place, but see, the door's too far. I can't screw it in. I gotta slide it back over a little bit. Over this way. So I can reach. I gotta have enough room. You see, I gotta have enough room to reach in there and put those screws back in by hand without hitting the edge of the screwdriver on the edge of the door. Okay? So that's up tight, exactly where it was before. I'm going to use the same screws. These screws aren't very long. These are the existing ones that came out of here. And if they're already spinning or loose, or you're afraid that you're going to tighten this up, if they're not holding, then that's going to cause your door to sag too. So, you know, if you wanted, you get longer screws, drive them in further, or even 2-inch long screws, let's say, so that it goes through the door jamb, which is 3/4 of an inch. Usually you have a 1/4 inch to a 3/8 gap between that and the 2x4 where the shims are to attach your door jamb, so you can plumb it up and make it level and all that good stuff. And then you could drive the rest of the screw length right into the 2x4. That would be the best way in a perfect world, okay? But these seemed to be snug from before, and if I can get these in there tight, see, that feels tight. I like to put these in. I mean, you could put it in with the drill again, but I don't want to strip the head a little bit, or you know, if these are barely grabbing, let's say, you put them in with the battery operated drill or something like that, you could spin them, and then they're not holding, are they? See, now I couldn't have had the door opened all the way at a 90-degree angle, because if you put it at a slight angle, it kind of gives you more room to kind of shim it up here, you know? I mean, I guess I could have ran it straight and put a shim in there, but I like to do it this way. It seems to work out all right. Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to see how well the door is sitting at this place when we close the door. Another option, you could get it a little bit further by doing the other hinge, you know, the middle hinge. We could do the same thing. We could do the same thing to the middle hinge. Right down there now. We could pull that out and we could pre-drill that again, couldn't we? And put 3 more screws in there, which I may end up doing. And at the bottom we don't have to do anything because we know the door was sagging at the top hinge. And so that's why we're trying to push that jamb over, okay?